Hello, YouTube. Quest for 151. Back at it again. First and foremost, Happy New Year. Fresh change, fresh start. Disregard my Discord sounds. Hopefully you're all having a wonderful start to the new year. It's been a while since I've uploaded a video. I had to take a break from, uploading daily opening videos. Super exhausting, especially with like work schedules and stuff like that. But with the recent huge popularity, I know that it's the huge boom of Pokemon interest and people coming into the hobby and everything. It's starting to like taper off a little bit, but there are a lot of people still interested in the hobby, a lot of people who are still fresh and coming into the hobby and just like getting to know, what is collecting Pokemon cards. And I figured I'd make a video that isn't about opening Pokemon cards, but just talking about different variables and aspects of why Pokemon cards are so expensive, or why Pokemon cards are like, what makes a Pokemon card worth a certain amount of money, all the variables that go into it. And I've touched upon this during openings here and there. It's just I never fully made a video solely about the discussion of what makes a Pokemon card worth X amount of money. What makes this Charizard worth so much money? Why is it worth so much money? So let's talk about the different details. That's kind of what I wanted to do with this video. So let's get started. I taking forever already. And please keep in mind that these are my own personal opinions. You're free to disagree, agree with me on any points. If you have any thoughts or input, please feel free to comment it in the video below. This is just something that I thought about working on for a while, and I figured now, because I'm slightly taking a break from opening Pokemon cards, I'll be back next week. But like I'm going to spend this video and the next video on Thursday just talking about certain aspects. So, what makes a Pokemon card worth money? What makes different Pokemon cards worth different amount of money? There are a couple aspects of it. The things that I like to focus on, there was 3 originally, but then like apparently now I have to talk about the 4th one because it just needs to be included. So first and foremost is collectability, second is playability, third is availability, and 4th is awareness. Okay, so let's talk about what that means. First off, collectability. Now, when we talk about collectability, let's talk. There are a couple of different things that I want to talk about. First off, we have to explain rarity. Okay, so if you look at the screen right next to my head, okay, first off, there are different types of rarities when it comes to collecting Pokemon cards, right? As you can see, we have a Croagunk here, and this Croagunk is a common card. We can see that with the circle. That's the symbol that indicates that it's a common card. Second off, we have a Great Ball, which is a uncommon card, so slightly less commonly found than the Croagunk in booster packs. Okay, an uncommon card is marked by a diamond. Next off, we have this Snorlax right here, which is a rare card. Now, every booster pack will have X amount of commons, X amount of uncommons, and usually 1 rare card, sometimes 2. It depends on the reverse holographic slot. Okay, we'll get into that in a little bit. All right, so it is a rare non-holographic card. Now, next off, we have a Professor's Research, which is a holographic rare. Now, you can tell the difference between the rare and the holographic rare in that Snorlax is a non-holo rare because it's not holographic. The Snorlax picture itself is not holographic. However, Professor's Research has holographic on it. Okay, so that's how you tell. Anything with a circle, this is a rare card, is a holo rare card, normal holographic rare card. Okay, that's Professor's Research. Now, anything in the holo rare, non-holo rare, common, and uncommon card status, such as these, will all have a variant of what is called a reverse holographic, which means that when it's a regular holographic rare, the picture is holographic. Now, reverse holographics, you get 1 per pack, usually, is when the rest of the card, see that, the description, everything outside of the, here, let me take it out of the sleeve for a better focus. Everything outside of the picture, right here, is holographic. So you got the trainer, the little blurb right here, space. those are what is known as reverse holographic cards. You get one per pack, and usually if you're trying to collect a master set, you want one of every one in the set for reverse holographic and non-reverse holographic. Okay, now let's get into the other rarities. Okay, we have what is called an ultra rare. Okay, usually you can tell by its picture is a lot bigger and takes up a lot more of the card than, let's say, a regular holographic rare. It's still got the description, but it's got image behind the description as well. Okay, now what you also have is a full art rare. Now full arts are a little bit different than ultra rares, regular ultra rares, in that the artwork might be a little bit different. The artwork is going to not be different, or it's not going to be the same. And what you can tell is, you should be able to see this, hopefully. There are lines, there is texture on full art cards, okay? Ultra rares do not have said texture. Full art has texture, okay? Oh man, and then there's what is called a secret rare, okay? Secret rares have both textures, and they're also sometimes known as rainbow rares because of the patterning, the coloring, okay? So it is usually a one step higher than the full art. In terms of the design is still the same, the card artwork is still the same, the coloring is different. The coloring follows the rainbow rare, okay? Now, you can usually tell the difference between a secret rare and a full art rare, in that full art rares, if you can see here, the set is usually the second number behind the slash, and this set has 236 cards in it. 212 is this particular Charizard and Braixen card. Okay, it's number 212. So full arts usually tend to happen at the end of this, towards the end of the set number. And then secrets, okay, are when the card number are above the set number maximum. So this last set number is 236, and then this Charizard and Braixen is number 251 of 236. So anything above the set number is considered a secret rare. Now, in terms of rarity, you got commons, uncommons, rares, holo rares are, and then you have ultra rares, full art ultra rares, secret rares. In that order is from most common to least common, okay? Secret rares are the hardest to pull, especially if you're trying to pull particular ones. Okay, the pull rates and ratios in booster packs are very, very difficult. And so that is why, you know, your commons are going to be worth a little bit less than your uncommons. Uncommons are going to be worth a little bit less than rares, followed by holo rares are more than rares, ultra rares more than holo rares, full art ultra rares are more than regular ultra rares, and then secret rares probably like the most expensive. However, that's not always the case because of different variables. So your basic first step to deciphering why something is worth something is because of the collectability, because of the rarity. The harder it is to find the card in a booster pack, the more it's going to be worth, okay? Because it's harder, more difficult to find, people will pay more money to get that one single card rather than put all this money into booster packs and maybe get a chance to pull that card. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense in terms of rarity and why certain cards are worth more than others. Okay, one thing about secret rares is that it's not just the hyper rare. It's not just this rainbow patterning, this rainbow coloring. There are also gold cards. Gold cards can also be secret rares. Basically, anything where the card number exceeds the set number is going to be a secret rare. Okay, that is why that is how you tell what a secret rare card is. Okay, now with trainer cards, these are all just Pokemon card related. Well, with trainer cards, there's also the concept of full art trainer cards as well. Same thing goes. Okay, same thing applies. There are trainer cards that are regular, and then the trainer cards which are the full art version. Okay, you can see pictures bigger, as well as the number of the card is closer to the end number of the set. Okay, so there is that. Let's move. So collectability. Okay, one other aspect of collectability, aside from the rarity of the card, is how collectible is the card. how much demand is there for the card? How much recognizability is there for this card? So let's say I asked you, hey, who do you think is going to be worth a little bit more money? Wimpod or Charmander? Who do you think off the bat? Charmander, right? Why? Because you recognize Charmander's name probably. Charmander is an OG Pokemon. It is like one of the first 9 entries of the original 151 Pokédex. More people are probably going to know Charmander than they are going to know Wimpod. So Charmander is probably going to be worth a little bit more. All right, collectability. Okay, not just rarity, but how, like, what do people actually know about Pokemon cards? Are they just going to be chasing after certain Pokemon cards like Charizard? They probably are going to be chasing after certain Pokemon like Charizard. Okay, and so that's what makes it probably a little bit more, because they're going to be going after Pokemons that are their favorite Pokemon, the ones that they recognize, that sort of thing. That makes a huge difference in what a card is worth, what a card might be worth, because there's going to be more demand for, you know, Charmander than there is going to be for Wimpod, because more people like Charmander, more people know about Charmander. Okay, so that's about collectability. If you have any questions, again, please feel free in the comments below. I'm going to try to move on because I want to keep this video under 20 minutes, which is going to be impossible already because I just spent 10 minutes, more than 10 minutes on the first section of collectability. Now let's talk about playability. Playability, remember, the Pokemon trading card game is a tournament. It is a playable trading card game. Aside from trading, there's also a game you can play to win. So when it comes to playability, that makes a difference on how much a card is worth, because it increases the demand for it. It increases the amount of people who are trying to get certain cards. So let's say, boom, you've got the Charmander, right? Charmander, cute, you know, everyone recognizes Charmander. However, is Charmander playable? You have to figure that out. If it's playable, it might be worth a little bit more. Now let's go back to Quick Ball. Okay. Oh, reverse holographics, 1 per thing. Usually the more holographic a card is, the more it's worth. So reverse holographic of the Quick Ball might be a little bit worth a little bit more than the regular Quick Ball. However, Quick Ball in general is one of the playable cards that is in the current meta. Okay. Quick Ball in general, I won't explain why, because I just know that it is. Okay, this, for some reason, the fact that you can play this card to discard another card from your hand, search your deck for a basic Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. It helps with playability. It helps you get more things to help you win. Okay, so this card, I don't remember if it's $1 or $2, but there are certain trainer cards and certain cards that are worth more because they're viable in competitive play. Now, Golden Rare, probably worth even more because 1, it's playable, and 2, it's collectible because it's a secret rare. It's a golden rare card. So playability makes sense. Playability is a variable that plays into, haha, pun, that helps boost the worth of the card because more people want it. Because if the more people that people are chasing for it, the more that people are aware about it, the more that they will pay to attain certain cards. Because if it's a playable card, it's a variable player. If it's a very playable card, people are going to want a play set, which is usually 4. People want 4 of these, so they're going to be willing to buy all 4 at once. You got 4, you can sell them for a little bit more than you would any other card that you find while you're opening booster packs. Okay, so do research. Always do research when you're considering selling or buying Pokemon cards. Do your research. That way you don't get cheated, you don't get scammed, and you don't lose value, okay, that may or may not be there. Now, let's talk about availability, because this one is difficult, okay? I'm probably going to go over 20 minutes. I'm sorry already. Availability is difficult because when it comes to availability, if something is available more often, then the worth is going to be a little bit lower, okay? When things aren't as available, the worth is going to go up. The value is going to go up. How much people are going to be willing to pay is going to go up. Okay, so let's talk about availability. One recent thing that we have is Vivid Voltage. Okay, this one right here, Giant Pikachu. That Giant Pikachu is something that everyone wants. However, because issues with inventory, supply, not supply, but like just getting inventory and how much people want Pokemon cards nowadays, it makes availability of booster packs a lot rarer, because everyone, when Vivid Voltage first came out and everyone wanted the hyper rare Pikachu, you couldn't find Vivid Voltage on shelves. You couldn't find Vivid Voltage in stores because everyone wanted it. Everyone bought it up. And so if you wanted it, you'd have to go to resale markets. And when resale markets happen and people are, have supply and they don't want it, and they are okay with selling it to other people, they're going to want more than what they paid for, because, the efforts of going out and getting supply. Right? So whereas, a regular booster box usually would cost anywhere between 36 packs. Booster box of 36 packs would cost anywhere between 100 to 120 regularly. You're seeing Vivid Voltage going for 150, 160, 170 because you can't find it. If you can't find it, people are going to pay a little bit extra to be able to get their hands for a chance to get that secret rare card, that rare card that everyone wants to chase. Okay, so that's what makes it a little bit harder to find. That's why the Pikachu is still sitting at the where's that Pikachu? I have the Pikachu somewhere. The hyper rare Pikachu, right? The hyper rare Pikachu is still sitting at $260-something, right? Because people wanted it. Now let's talk about availability. All right, so everything comes in booster packs, booster boxes, right? Most standard sets can come in booster boxes. However, with special sets like Hidden Fates, right? Hidden Fates. This set only comes in products. They don't come in booster boxes. Can't find them at 36 packs each. The most you can get in one was 15, and that's the Ultra Premium Collection. That ran $100 retail, but it goes for about $250 now, right? Maybe even more. These tins used to be $20. Now if you find them on the resale market, they're averaging 30 to 40. Okay, maybe even 50 for 4 booster packs for a chance at getting the shiny Charizard GX. Okay, availability makes a difference. With special sets like Champion's Path, right? With sets that you can't find booster packs readily available for, it's going to be difficult. And so when you buy the single cards that you really, really wanted, instead of, opting to pay for booster packs, that to pull a Pokemon card, it's still going to be worth more. It's hard. Now, when you get into older cards like Wizards of the Coast, right? OG cards from the late 90s and early 2000s that a lot of people who have a lot of nostalgia for Pokemon cards grew up with, you have this thing called first edition. Okay? If there's a first edition stamp on a card, that's going to make it more, because that's the original, the first print run. Okay, we got rid of the first edition stamp a long time ago. However, for those that have the first edition stamp and those that don't have the first edition stamp, that makes it more rare. It makes it less available, because how often are you going to find a first edition sealed booster pack? And then what are the chances that you pull the one card that you want out of said booster pack, right? What are the chances that you pull the one card that you want out of a regular booster pack, okay? Regular booster packs go for $4 to $5 nowadays. Most of the time, American, depending on which one it is and if it's still in print. If it's still in print, usually $4 to $5. But you have a 1 in X amount of chance at pulling a rare, a 1 in X amount of chance of pulling an ultra rare, and 1 in X amount of chance of pulling a full art or secret rare. How many booster packs do you have to go through, especially if you're going to go through random number generator? How many booster packs do you go through until you get that one specific card that you want? Or would you just rather pay the upfront cost and buy the card outright? Pros and cons, right? Opportunity cost, like what do you rather spend your money into? Okay, availability makes a difference. Okay, availability is what makes certain sets worth a little bit more. Hidden Fates is going to be worth a little bit more than your standard sets that you can find anywhere with the booster box, like Evolutions, XY, Sword and Shield base, anything that's a standard set and you can find in a booster box is not necessarily going to be worth a little bit less, but it's going to be easier to find standard sets than it is special sets, like Champion's Path. Champion's Path, this one right here, was a huge hunt. Everyone was hunting for Champion's Path because they were going after the 2 Charizards. That's not the one, this one. All right, I mean, I'm sorry, but this is going to be a slight flex video, but whatever. We're just talking about situations here, okay? The 2 Charizards that came in Champion's Path were super difficult to find. At the beginning, before Champion's Path released, before the official drop date where everyone could find it, these 2 cards were selling for about 1,000 each raw ungraded, just the card itself. There's no grade on it. Okay. Now they've dipped down because you can find it more often. You can find it. Everyone was hopping and scooping up every single Champion's Path that they could find in retail stores, retail sites for an appropriate amount of money. However, now it's a lot easier to find it because they kept printing it. They kept printing it and printing it and printing it. And they got, as you get more supply and more inventory, and the more that booster packs are available, and the more people could pull Charizards out of something, or whatever the chase card is out of a set, boom. Market price goes down because there's more supply of it. The more supply that hits the market, the lower that people are going to expect to sell it for. Okay, because it's more available now. The more available something is, the lower the market price. But again, that factors into playability, collectability, what card especially. If we're talking about like, okay, let's see, if we're talking about like the Wimpod of Hidden Fates, okay, this is like a $3 to $4 card, okay, rather than the Charmander, which is a $20-something card, because the Charmander, again, is more collectible. It's more well-known, right? The Charizard here is going to be worth way more than the Charmander card because it's harder to pull and it's more rare to pull the Charizard GX than it is the Charmander. Charizard GX is sitting at like, I don't know, $300-$400 still? $5 almost? It's been a while since I've looked at the prices, but that's why, right? It's less available. So even if you do get your hand on booster packs, the guarantee of getting the card that you want isn't there. It's not guaranteed that you're going to get the card that you want. Even if you buy weighted booster packs, like scaled, like guaranteed holo, you still might not get the holo that you want, right? So that's why some people buy it outright. And when you buy it outright, that upfront cost is going to be up there. Okay, so next one is going to be, what's the next topic? Very briefly, okay, the last one on the second to last point that I would want to make on why cards are worth so much is the condition of the card. Okay, now the condition of the card comes into play when you're looking at really collectability. It ties in with collectability. Okay, it ties in with rarity, because mint condition cards that are in really, really good condition are going to be more difficult to find because, you know, not every card out of the pack comes in gem mint 10 condition when you grade them. Some cards can be off-centered, not cut appropriately. There can be factory packaging errors, right? You'll get print cards. You'll get cards already out of the pack with edge wear, okay? So having a really, really good condition card makes a difference, okay? That's why graded cards are always so popular. That's why graded cards are so sought after, because someone looked at a card and said, this is perfect. This is as perfect as can be. This deserves, on a scale of 1 to 10, it gets a 10. And that's why cards are a little more expensive when it comes to condition. Okay, this card, when I first got it, when I first received this card, I valued it at $60, and that was in April. Okay, now it's in like the 300s, 400s, give or take tops. But at some point, this card a month or two ago was selling for $1,000 because one, okay, it's good condition. It is a graded 10, gem mint 10. So someone graded this thing as perfect as can be, almost, right? Availability, you can't find this one because this is a card that first released in 1999 in the Jungle set. This is almost as old as Pokemon cards in America can get. Okay, this is a first edition. Boom, done. It is an Eevee. Eevee is one of the most popular favorite Pokemon. There you go, right? You've got collectability, you've got availability, and you've got condition, right? It's not playable because it's out of the meta. Sure, that's fine, but people are still going to want this card because it's an Eevee. It's recognizable. Okay, so that is why at some point this card was $1,000. But then when more people do it, when more people have it, and there's more supply out there, it's easier to attain, then it becomes less special. Okay, then the value of it goes down because one, demand's not there and awareness isn't there. So let's talk about the last part. Okay, let's talk about awareness. Awareness is a huge deal. Awareness is a marketing tactic. Okay, awareness is a whole big thing on why Pokemon cards are worth so much, why people are coming back into Pokemon cards in general. Awareness. okay? A couple months ago, or a handful of months ago, some big named people said, yo, I'm gonna collect Pokemon cards again. And that got so many people back into, hey, yo, this person's doing Pokemon cards. It looks pretty cool. I want to do Pokemon cards. So the reason why shoes are so popular, Jordans are so popular, is because when people associate Pokemon cards and see that Pokemon cards are a thing, such a thing that someone with a huge name is doing it, boom, people are going to be interested. People are going to be so interested. Okay? Awareness is a huge thing. That's why this Charizard, maybe not the specific one because the condition isn't so good, but let's say this Charizard, I was finding this Charizard in light play near mint condition for $100 a year and a half ago. This raw Charizard card goes for like 500 or something now. Okay, that's 500% growth. All because some people decided to get back into Pokemon cards, talked about how great they were. Boom, everyone wanted Pokemon cards. Everyone went searching for their old Pokemon card collection. Everyone went searching and buying new Pokemon cards, like Evolutions. Evolutions is a reprint of the base set that this Charizard card came from, okay? This Charizard card has a reprint in this set, which is now this card. This card you could find for a little bit for like $20 before the boom. This booster box, you could get this for $90. You couldn't even get rid of this. Suppliers, and distributors couldn't get rid of this for $80 to $90. This box is $500 now. People are buying this box for $500 at a chance at pulling the nostalgia Charizard card because they don't want to spend the $800 per pack that this Charizard comes in without that guarantee of pulling something. And so that's why this thing went from $90 to $500 almost seemingly overnight. Not even overnight. So awareness is a big thing. Awareness is a huge thing. That's why cards like the Pikachu, okay? I didn't even know how much this was worth when I first received this card. When I first found this card, it was a first edition promo card. I didn't know how much it was worth until I looked it up, until I became aware of what it was. This is the first ever, supposedly an error card, whatever, right? The whole story is a whole different story. I have a whole video on this story. But this is like a $200 card when I got it back in March. I don't even know how much it's worth now, but once people are aware of certain cards, then the demand will get there. If there are people creating awareness for certain cards, the worth of the card will go up, the supposed worth, because now people are aware that this card exists. Like the Illustrator, like certain unique low promo cards, unique low partnership cards. The more aware that people are of certain cards, or of Pokemon cards in general, adds into how much they're worth. But at the end of the day, after all the things that I just listed, after all the things that I said, at the end of the day, a Pokemon card is only worth as much as what you think it is. There is no worth in a Pokemon card until money is transacted, until money is exchanged. Okay? This Pokemon card, sure, people can say, I've seen values and exchanges for $500, for $300, for $1,000 for this single Pokemon card. However, this particular Pokemon card that I own isn't worth anything until I sell it. To me, I think it would be worth, sure, $500. Maybe I'll sell it for $500. But if someone offered me $500 right now to buy this card, I don't think I would sell it. Because to me, I want it because of something, because I want to collect it, because this is something that I only have one of. I'm not going to get rid of this for, whatever the market value is, if I don't think that I want to, if I don't want to. But if I were to sell it for someone said $1,000, sure, it could be worth $1,000. But it's not worth anything until someone pays money for it, until I pay money for it, right? Until a transaction is there, and that there is, or even a trade. If I traded this for another card that I wanted, that's the worth. Okay, that's the worth. It's not worth anything until something is transacted. So if someone was offering me and said, hey, yo, I got a bunch of Pokemon cards, I think that they're worth $1,000, would you buy them? I looked at it, and if I had no interest in this, if I didn't have the $1,000, or if I didn't feel like it was worth $1,000, then I'd say, yeah, you might think it's worth $1,000. I don't think it's worth $1,000, so I'm not going to buy it. Someone else thinks that it's worth $1,000. They can go buy it. But Pokemon cards aren't worth anything until money is transferred, until there's a transaction. So remember that when you're talking about how much a Pokemon card is worth, there's so many things that go into it, and there's so many factors that I probably haven't even talked about. And this is already a half-an-hour video. This is me. I don't even have a script for this. This is just my thoughts being jumbled out right here. So when someone asks me, how much is a certain card worth? What should I chase after? What should I collect? What should I do to get the best bang for my buck? There's so many ways to answer that question. And most everyone is just doing it for the money. And I don't care about that part. I don't hate that part. Just play it safe. Don't be rude about it. And just don't get into fights over it. Okay? Don't be the type of people that are fighting and pushing people and shoving people out of the way just to go get cards at Target, at Walmart, whatever. I've heard of those stories. I've seen those stories. It's not that big a deal. But if you're talking about, hey, what should I do? What card should I collect? I can't give you a simple answer for that. I can give you a simple answer of, hey, these cards are like worth the most monetary value, but they're only worth something if you can get the card and then get rid of the card. If you can somehow get the card and then unload it and sell it to somebody, that's when the worth is there. So who knows? I'm gonna go cut my hair now. I'm gonna go do the rest of my errands now. I originally thought this was gonna be like a 15-20 minute video. We're hitting half an hour. So I'm gonna leave you to it. Y'all can go chill. And if you have any questions, I have another topic that I'm going to do for Thursday. Oh, that's probably gonna be off the cuff too. But happy Monday. Hope you're all doing well. Happy New Year. Questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, any input down below. Perfectly fine. Cool. In any case, I will see you Thursday for another one. Take it easy. Bye.